My landlord's offer sounded simple, until I heard the word stay in his voice. The rain hammered the window like 1,000 tiny accusations, each drop smacking against the glass of my cramped Seattle studio apartment. I was 28, broke as hell, a freelance graphic designer chasing gigs that paid in exposure and empty promises. The cursor blinked mockingly on my laptop screen, mocking the half-finished logo for some startup that ghosted me last week. Rent was due in 48 hours. $1,200 I didn't have. My coffee had gone cold, tasting like regret, and the faint hum of the fridge was the only sound breaking the silence besides my ragged breaths. I leaned back, rubbing my temples, the scent of damp wool from my hoodie filling my nostrils. That's when the knock came, firm, unyielding, like it knew I was cornered. Heart slamming against my ribs, I shuffled to the door, peering through the peephole. Marcus Hale, my landlord, 45, built like he could bench press the regrets of his past life, with salt and pepper hair that fell just messy enough to hint at the storms he'd weathered. Ex-Marine turned real estate shark, or so the building gossip went. Divorced a decade ago. No kids. Just this old Victorian he'd inherited and turned into a cash cow for struggling artists like me. I cracked the door, forcing a smile that felt like cracking ice. Mr. Hale. Hey, what's up? His eyes, deep brown and steady, locked on mine. No bullshit. Alex, rent's overdue. Again. His voice was gravel wrapped in velvet, low and unhurried, carrying the faint twang of his Texas roots that he'd never quite shaken despite 2 decades in the Pacific Northwest. I swallowed, throat dry as sawdust. I know. I'm good for it. Just wire transfer glitch. Tomorrow, swear. He didn't blink. Just stood there, rain dripping from the brim of his wool cap onto the welcome mat that said home sweet chaos ironic. The air between us thickened, charged like the storm outside. Step out here. Not a request. I hesitated, then followed him onto the narrow balcony, the chill biting through my thin shirt. Seattle's fog clung to everything, muting the city lights below into a hazy glow. He leaned against the railing, arms crossed over his broad chest, flannel shirt straining at the seams. Look, kid, I like you. You're quiet, pay on time mostly, but business is business. Eviction notice goes out Monday if it's not squared. Kid. The word stung, a reminder of the gap 17 years, worlds apart. I was the wide-eyed dreamer crashing in his shadow. Please, Marcus, I'm this close. I held up my thumb and forefinger, trembling slightly. The wind whipped my hair, carrying the salty tang of Puget sound up from the streets. He turned, facing me fully now, his breath visible in the cold air. Close enough I could smell his cologne, cedar, and smoke, grounding, masculine. What if I said there's another way? You stay. No rent for 3 months. You handle the books for the building. Simple admin shit. Invoices, tenant logs. Nothing fancy. My pulse stuttered. Free rent? It sounded like salvation wrapped in a bow. But his eyes, they lingered a beat too long on my lips, then flicked back up. Why me? You've got a stack of applicants downstairs. A ghost of a smile tugged at his mouth, gone before I could catch it. Because I trust you, Alex. And I could use the company. The word hung there heavy. Company. In a building full of echoes. I nodded too fast, relief flooding me like warm whiskey. Deal. When do I start? Tonight. My office. 8th floor. He clapped my shoulder, his hand lingering warm, calloused, sending a jolt straight to my gut. Electricity. Wrong? Or just the storm? As he walked away, boots thudding on the wet stairs, I pressed my back to the door, heart racing. Simple, he'd said, but that touch echoed, a whisper I couldn't shake. Downstairs, the lobby smelled of fresh varnish and old secrets. I'd been here 6 months, sketching late nights while the city hummed outside. Marcus's office was a converted storage room, desk piled with leases, a single lamp casting long shadows. He was there when I arrived, sleeves rolled up, forearms corded with veins like rivers on a map. Sit. He pushed a chair out with his foot. We dove in. Spreadsheets blurred into hours, his voice guiding me through columns of numbers. Close quarters. His knee brushed mine under the desk once, twice. Accident? The clock ticked past midnight, rain lashing the window like applause for our unspoken tension. "You're good at this," he murmured, leaning over to point at a cell. His breath ghosted my ear, warm against the chill. "Thanks." My voice cracked, barely. I shifted, heat pooling low in my belly. Gay. I'd known since college, hookups in dorms that fizzled fast. But Marcus? Straight-edged landlord, or so I thought. Widower vibes, not wife. Rumors said he swung both ways back in the core. But who knew? He straightened, rubbing his neck with a sigh that rumbled deep. "Long day. You should head up." I stood, legs unsteady. "Yeah. Night, Marcus." His hand caught my wrist. Gentle. "Alex." That pause. The air crackled. "Thanks for staying late." Staying. The word dripped from his lips like honey over thorns. Simple offer, he'd said. But in his voice, it curled around something deeper. A plea wrapped in command. I pulled away, pulse thundering, and fled to my apartment. The door clicked shut behind me, but the echo of his touch lingered. A promise or a trap I couldn't yet name. Morning broke gray and relentless. Coffee brewing as I stared at my reflection's stubble-shadowed jaw, eyes haunted by what-ifs. Work called. A pitch for a coffee brand. Logos swirling in my mind like the steam rising from my mug, but focus fractured. Every keystroke echoed his sigh, that brush of skin. By noon, a text. Office. Now, new tenant issue. Marcus. I grabbed my jacket, heart in my throat. The elevator ride felt eternal, mirrors reflecting my flushed cheeks. His door was ajar, voice on the phone low, authoritative, laced with frustration. "No, that's not how this works. Fix it." He hung up as I entered, gesturing to the chair. "Drama. Guy downstairs wants out early. Help me draft the response." We worked side by side, shoulders touching now. Deliberate? The scent of his soap, pine and earth, invaded my space, stirring memories of college crushes, forbidden glances in locker rooms. "Here," he said, his finger tracing a line on the screen, grazing my hand. Spark. I froze. "You okay?" His tone softened, eyes searching mine. "Yeah, just tired." The truth burned, attracted, terrified. He leaned back, chair creaking under his weight. "Alex, about last night. The offer. It's not just the books." My breath hitched. Rain pattered outside, a soft drumbeat to the pounding in my chest. "What do you mean?" "I meant stay, not just for rent. Stay. With me." His voice dropped, raw, vulnerable. The word stay lingered, heavy with unspoken hunger. Eyes locked, the room shrank to just us two men on the edge of a cliff, wind howling. I swallowed hard, the air thick with possibility. Simple? Bullshit. This was a dive into depths I wasn't sure I could swim. The confession hung between us like smoke from a dying fire, curling slow and intoxicating. Marcus's eyes, those deep pools of brown flecked with gold, held mine captive. The office lamp buzzed faintly overhead, casting shadows that danced across his stubbled jaw. Outside, thunder grumbled low, a distant lover's growl, vibrating through the floorboards. "With you." My voice was a whisper, barely cutting the tension. Throat tight, palms slick. I dreamed of this faceless men in dark bars, quick and gone, but never like this. Never with power tilted so unevenly, his world swallowing mine whole. He nodded once, slow, like committing to a war. "Yeah, dinners. Late nights like this. No strings if you don't want. But his gaze said otherwise, strings thick as ropes, binding us in the dim light. His hand, still on the desk, inched closer, knuckles brushing mine. Rough, real. A shiver raced up my arm, settling low, insistent. I pulled back, chair scraping like a gasp. Marcus, you're my landlord. It's messy. Messy like the rain-slick streets below, where I'd walked home last night replaying his touch, body aching with questions. His laugh was soft, bitter-edged, echoing off the walls lined with faded leases, ghosts of tenants past. Messy is my middle name, kid. Life's too short for clean. He stood, towering, unbuttoning his flannel one notch, revealing a sliver of tan chest dusted with hair. The air shifted, charged with his warmth, the faint musk of sweat from the day's grind. I rose too, backing toward the door, heart hammering a frantic rhythm. I need to think. Think? Hell, I was drowning in sensation, the creak of floorboards under his step, the way his breath hitched when I said his name. Take your time. But his voice cracked on the last word, raw need bleeding through. He stepped closer, not touching, but close enough the heat radiated, wrapping around me like fog off the sound. Just, don't run. Run. The words sliced deep, evoking memories of Dad's disappointed sighs when I came out at 19. The way he'd turned away, door clicking shut like finality. I'd run then, cross-country to Seattle, chasing reinvention in pixelated dreams. Now, Marcus's plea pinned me, a magnetic pull I felt in my bones. I fled anyway, elevator dinging like a heartbeat too fast. Back in my studio, I paced, floor cold under bare feet, the scent of takeout lo mein lingering from lunch. Laptop forgotten. I collapsed on the bed, sheets tangled from restless sleep. His face haunted me, that vulnerability cracking his armor, the way stay rolled off his tongue like a prayer. Night fell heavy, city lights twinkling through rain-streaked glass like distant stars mocking my isolation. A knock shattered the quiet. Him. Again. Alex. Door open, he filled the frame, jacket slung over one shoulder, hair damp. Can't sleep either? I stepped aside, mute, pulse roaring. He entered, casual as claiming territory, hanging his jacket on the hook like he'd done it 100 times. The room shrank, my sketches pinned to walls suddenly exposed, abstract swirls of color hiding the chaos inside. Coffee, weak deflection, pot still warm on the counter. He nodded, leaning against it as I poured, mugs clinking softly. Our fingers brushed, handing it over. Spark again, electric, undeniable. Talk to me. His tone gentle, coaxing, like drawing out a skittish animal. I sipped, bitter heat grounding me. This offer is not simple. You're 45, established. I'm scraping by, crashing in your building. What if it goes south? Eviction with benefits. His eyes darkened, storm clouds rolling in. I'd never hurt you, Alex. That's not who I am. He set the mug down, stepping into my space, hand cupping my jaw, thumb rough against smooth skin. Tilted my face up. Breath mingled coffee and mint. I've been alone too long. Watched tenants come and go. You stayed. Saw me. Saw him. The weight of that, the divorce that gutted him, the core buddies lost to sand and time. Rumors I'd dismissed now crystallized in his touch, tender, seeking. I leaned in, or maybe he did. Lips met, soft at first, exploratory, tasting salt from unshed tears or rain. Then deeper, his hands sliding to my nape, pulling me flush. Groan escaped him, low and guttural, vibrating through my chest. My fingers fisted his shirt, inhaling cedar and man, world narrowing to this. Heat, hunger, the wet smack of kiss breaking for air. We broke apart, foreheads pressed, breaths ragged. Fuck! I whispered, voice hoarse. Yeah. His chuckle rumbled, hands stroking my back in slow circles. Messy, but not wrong. Not yet. He stayed that night, not in bed boundaries fragile, but on the couch, talking till dawn cracked the sky gray. Stories spilled. His Texas boyhood, first love with a squad mate under desert stars, the silence after discharge. I shared mine, mom's hugs that lingered, dad's absence like a shadow, laughter mixed with sighs, the rain a soft lullaby outside. Morning light filtered in, painting his sleeping form in gold. Peaceful. Mine. Panic flickered, what now? But his arm around my waist as we dozed anchored me. Simple offer? This was a unraveling, thread by thread, exposing hearts raw and beating. Days blurred into a rhythm. Mornings sketching by the window, his coffee waiting black and strong. Afternoons in his office, fingers lingering over keys, knees pressing under desks. Evenings, dinners, takeout ties steaming on his kitchen table upstairs, chopsticks clacking, stories weaving tighter bonds. One night, fog thick as soup outside, we cooked. Actual food. Steak sizzling in cast iron, garlic popping in oil. The sizzle a symphony to his hummed tune old country ballad, voice gravelly sweet. Dance with me, he murmured, pulling me from the stove, hand at my waist. Barefoot on cool tile, bodies swaying slow, his chin on my shoulder. Heartbeats synced, thump-thump like bass in a dark club. Alex, he breathed, lips grazing my neck. Shiver. His hands roamed, respectful, mapping with reverence. Couch called, clothes shedding like old skin shirt overhead. Gasp at skin on skin. He was patient, every touch a question answered yes. Mouths explored, hands learned curves and planes, my lean frame against his solid one. Contrasts igniting. Moans filled the air, mine high and needy, his deep growls. Climax crashed like waves on Alki Beach, leaving us tangled, sweat slick, breaths sinking in aftershocks. After, his fingers traced my spine, lazy circles. Stay, he whispered again, not command but ache. The word wrapped around us, warm as the blanket pulled over bare forms. I did. For weeks, bliss in stolen moments, quick kisses in the stairwell, his hand possessive on my thigh during movie nights, screen flickering blue on our faces. Seattle's drizzle mirrored our quiet joy, washing away doubts. But cracks spiderwebbed, a tenant complaint noise, they said, from my frequent visits. Marcus waved it off, but tension coiled in his shoulders. My gigs dried up, freelance famine hitting hard. Let me help, he offered, checkbook out. Pride bristled. I'm not your kept man. Words sharp, slicing the air thick with garlic from dinner. His face hardened, jaw ticking. Never said that. Just partnership. Partnership. The word soured on my tongue, echoing power's imbalance. That night, sleep evaded. His snores steady beside me while I stared at ceiling cracks like fault lines. Morning brought confrontation. Coffee bitter, words sharper. This started simple. Now it's everything. My voice trembled, mug shaking in grip. He reached across the table, but I pulled back. And if I can't pay my way, am I just the pretty distraction? Pain flashed in his eyes, raw as an open wound. You're more. Always were. But doubt lingered, a shadow in the steam rising between us. I left for a walk, boots splashing puddles, fog muffling the city's pulse. Heart heavy, questions churning. Love or convenience? Stay or flee? The offer that saved me now threatened to drown. Pounding rain on the cafe window matched the storm in my chest as I sat across from Jamie, my old college roommate, nursing a latte that had gone cold. Seattle's vibe, hipsters with man buns and ironic tattoos. Felt like a bad joke today, the chatter around us a dull roar. Jamie, 29, barista by day, drag queen by night, leaned in, eyeliner sharp as his wit. Spill, babe. You look like you swallowed a ghost. I traced the foam heart on my cup, dissolving like my resolve. Marcus, the landlord thing. Real now. Words tumbled the offer, the nights, the way his laugh rumbled like thunder over the Olympics. Jamie's brows shot up, rings glinting under cafe lights. Daddy vibes? Hot, but power play screams red flag. He sipped his espresso, steam curling like accusations. You're the tenant. He's the boss. One fight, and poof, homeless. The word homeless landed like a slap, evoking cardboard signs on Pike Street, eyes averted by suits rushing past. I shifted, vinyl seat sticking to my jeans. It's not like that. He sees me. Everyone sees you, Alex. Question is, do you see yourself? Jamie's hand squeezed mine, warm, grounding. Outside, a bus hissed by, brakes squealing like my fraying nerves. Back at the building, elevator hummed ascent, depositing me at my floor. Door ajar to Marcus's office voices, low and heated. I paused, eavesdropping like a fool. Can't keep bailing him out, Mark? A voice said, brother? Gravelly, familial. The kid's a liability. Marcus's reply, clipped, he's not a kid, and it's my call. My stomach twisted, liability echoing. I knocked, slipping in. His brother Tom, 50-ish, burly with a mustache like a broom, eyed me cool. Harper, heard about you. Tension crackled, thick as the ozone before lightning. Marcus stood, chair scraping. Tom was leaving, dismissal sharp. Tom chuckled, clapping Marcus's shoulder hard. Think on it, bro, business first. Door clicked shut, leaving silence heavier than fog. Marcus sighed, deep and weary, rubbing his face with hands that trembled faintly. Ignore him. Family meddles. But I couldn't. Am I? A liability? Voice small, echoing my 19-year-old self. Dad's car peeling out after my coming out, tires screeching farewell. His head snapped up, eyes fierce. No. God, no. He crossed the room in 2 strides, pulling me into his arms, chest solid, heartbeat steady against my ear. You're my anchor, Alex, in this shitstorm life. Anchor. The word soothed, but doubts lapped like waves on a pier. We kissed then, desperate, his hands framing my face, thumbs brushing tears I hadn't noticed. Salt mingled with the taste of him, coffee and resolve. Desk cleared with a sweep, papers fluttering like startled birds, my back arching against wood as he pressed close, bodies aligning in urgent sync. Gasps filled the air, his name a mantra on my lips. Marcus, please. Plea for more, for absolution. He obliged, slow and reverent. Every thrust a vow, hips rolling, skin slapping soft, breaths hitching in harmony. Climax built like a crescendo, crashing over us in waves, leaving me boneless, his weight a welcome cage. After, curled on the rug threadbare, smelling of dust and us, he stroked my hair. Talk to me. What's eating you? I confessed Jamie's words, the fear of imbalance. He listened, nods slow, fingers tracing my collarbone. I get it. Power's a bitch. But this. He gestured between us, air still humming. Equals. Always. Equals. Hope flickered, fragile as dawn light. We dressed slow, kisses punctuating buttons, and headed to his place, loft above the office, exposed beams and city views. Dinner. Pasta bubbling, sauce rich with basil and wine, steam rising like sighs. Conversation flowed easy at first, his core tales, sand in boots and stars overhead. My design dreams, pixels birthing worlds. Laughter bubbled, wine loosening tongues. But then, his phone buzzed, tenant crisis, leak flooding units below. Shit, he groaned, standing. Go. Hero mode. I teased, But unease stirred as he left, door latching with finality. Alone, wine glass in hand, I wandered his space bookshelves groaning with histories and thrillers, photos faded. Young Marcus in fatigues, arm around a ghost of a man, smile bright. Lover? The ache hit jealousy for pasts unlived. Hours ticked, clock ticking like a bomb. Midnight came, no return. Text, swamped. Crash here, cold, distant. Sleep evaded, sheets cool without him. Morning brought gray light and his key in the lock, exhaustion carving lines on his face. Sorry. Flood was biblical. I nodded, but words bottled. Breakfast. Eggs frying, sizzle masking silence. You okay? He prodded, fork pausing. Fine. The distance yawned, a chasm widening. Work pulled me away. Gig finally landed, client meeting downtown. Subway rattled, city blurring past. My sketches clutched like lifelines. Meeting went smooth, handshakes firm, promise of paychecks steadying the tilt. Evening found me at a bar with Jamie, neon buzzing, craft beers foaming. See? You're killing it solo. He grinned, clinking glasses. But my eyes drifted to couples, hands intertwined, whispers intimate. Longing tugged, sharp. Text from Marcus. Miss you. Dinner? I typed back, busy. Tomorrow. Stupid pride. Night dragged. Bar noise a cacophony. Laughter hollow. Home late. Buzzed. Collapse into bed. Dreams tangled. His touch morphing to chains. Stay a cage snapping shut. Dawn woke me hungover. Phone blinking. Everything okay? Worry laced the words. Guilt gnawed as I dressed, coffee scalding my tongue. Downstairs, office door open. He looked up, relief flooding his face. Hey! Hey! Awkward, air thick. About last night dash. Forget it. He stood, rounding the desk, pulling me close. We're good. But were we? The hug lingered, but cracks lingered too, hairline fractures waiting for quake. Weeks stitched us closer, shared runs along the waterfront, breaths puffing white in chill air, his hands steady in mine, laughter at bad movies, popcorn kernels crunching underfoot. Intimacy deepened. Slow mornings, bodies entwined, his whispers in my ear, beautiful, as sunlight slanted gold. Yet shadows loomed. Tom's visits increased, advice laced with barbs. He's young, Mark. Flight risk. Marcus brushed off, but I saw the doubt seed. My bank account swelled, gigs stacking. Independence bloomed, but so did fear. What if success meant leaving? One night, post-love haze, body slick, he murmured, proud of you. Warmth spread, but questions slipped. What if I move out? Pay rent proper. His body tensed, arm tightening. Why fix what's not broken? Not broken, but bending under weight of unspoken. Storm brewed, literal and not gales rattling windows, power flickering. Candlelit dinner, flames dancing on his face. Promise me, he said suddenly, fork down. No running. Promise. The word weighed, heavy as the rain lashing glass. I nodded, but heart whispered doubts, winds howling warning. Thunder cracked like a whip overhead, shaking the loft's beams as if the sky itself disapproved. Candles guttered on the table, wax dripping slow tears onto saucers, casting Marcus's face in flickering amber. His eyes, usually steady, darted with something feral tonight need. Fear. A cocktail that twisted my gut. The power outage had plunged Seattle into primal dark. City lights snuffed, leaving only us and the storm's roar. Promise me, he repeated, voice rough as the wind howling outside. His hand gripped mine across the table, calluses scraping my knuckles, grounding in the chaos. Pasta cooled untouched, garlic scent cloying now, heavy with the unsaid. I squeezed back, throat tight. I'm here, Marcus. Not going anywhere. Lie? Truth? The words tasted of ash, echoing hollow against the rain's relentless drum. He pulled me up, chair toppling with a thud lost in thunder. Into his arms, bodies colliding solid, urgent. Mouth claimed mine, desperate, teeth nipping lip, drawing a gasp. Hands roamed, bunching shirt, cool air kissing exposed skin. Need you, he growled, backing me toward the bedroom, steps stumbling over rug edges. Bed met my calves, collapse in tangle sheets cool, his heat scorching. Clothes shed frantic, buttons popping like gunfire. Skin on skin, friction igniting, his weight pinning deliciously. Kisses trailed fire down neck, collarbone, teeth grazing nipple arch, moan escaping unbidden. Fuck Alex. His name dissolved into sighs, bodies moving in ancient rhythm, hips grinding, slick slide, breaths sinking ragged. Storm outside mirrored within. Building, cresting, crash of release leaving us shattered, sweat slick, hearts pounding duet. After tangled limbs, his head on my chest, listening to thrum. Love this, he murmured, fingers tracing lazy patterns on my hip. Love. The word slipped casual, but landed like boulder in still water, ripples spreading. My breath caught, ceiling fans still in dark, shadows playing tricks. Love. Echo tentative. He lifted head, eyes searching mine by candle glow filtering from hall. Yeah, you, us. Simple, profound. Panic flickered too soon, too real, but his kiss sealed it soft, sealing. Sleep came fitful, dreams of chains and open skies warring. Morning brought blue skies mocking the night, suns slanting through blinds like spotlights. Coffee perked, aroma waking senses, his kiss lingering on lips as he headed to fix generator downstairs. Alone, phone buzzed Jamie. Gig in NYC? Big bucks. Say yes. Opportunity. Escape. Heart raced. Fingers hovering reply. Days blurred golden. Marcus's laugh booming over brunch mimosas fizzing. Orange pulp sweet on tongue. Walks in Discovery Park. Leaves crunching under boots. His arms slung casual. Fingers interlacing natural. Whispers in ear during sketches. His chin on shoulder. Genius. But Jamie's offer nod. A splinter under nail. Think on it, he texted back. Nights, Marcus sensed shift. Questions in his touch tighter. Seeking reassurance. Confrontation brewed over takeout sushi. Rice sticky. Soy dipping sharp. You're distant. Fork down, eyes level. Guilt soured wasabi bite. Work stuff. Big project. Half-truth. The NYC gig loomed. Skyline calling like siren. Tell me. Plea in his voice. Raw. Words tumbled. The offer, prestige, pay to stand equal. His face shuddered. Fork tracing patterns in uneaten roll. And us? Side note. No. Vehement hand reaching. Foundation. But I need to build, Marcus. Prove I'm more than. Then what? My boy toy. Bitterness laced. Standing abrupt. Chair scraping. The word stung. Evoking Tom's sneers, my own fears. That's not fair. Fair. Laugh hollow, pacing rug worn thin. I laid it out. Stay. Build here. With me. Stay. Again the word, anchor or anchorite. Storm clouds gathered outside. Mirroring mood. Rain spitting tentative. I love you, I whispered, standing, closing distance. But love shouldn't cage. His halt back to me, shoulders rigid. Turn slow, eyes glistening. Cage? This is home, Alex. Home. The fight deflated. Arms wrapping. Apologies murmured into hair. Makeup sex on couch, urgent, reclaiming body slamming. Gasp sharp. Release cathartic tears mingling. But splinter festered. Calls with agent. 2 months. Network. Game changer. Marcus's smile strained. Touches lingering. One evening, post-run. Sweat cooling on skin. He cornered me in shower steam thick. Water cascading hot. Don't go. Hands on hips. Forehead pressed. Please. Vulnerability cracked me. Knees buckling under spray. It's not forever. Just growth. Growth. He nodded. But eyes haunted. Water sluicing tears or rain. Decision crystallized over whiskey neat. Ice clinking like chains. I'm going. Quiet. Final. His glass shattered on floor. Shards glittering like broken promises. Then go. Voice wrecked, turning away. Packing blurred days. Boxes stacking. Sketches rolled. Heart leaden. His silence deafening. Glimpses in hall. Eyes averted. Pain raw. Departure eve. Rain lashing furious. Knock soft. Him soaked. Flannel clinging. One last time. Bed familiar. Bodies knowing slow. Savoring every gasp. Arch whisper. Love you. He breathed into climax. Shattering me. Morning. Cab idling. Seattle shrinking in rear view. Text. Safe travels. Door always open. NYC hit like fever dream. Skyscrapers stabbing sky. Subways rumbling subterranean. Loft sublet. Views electric. But nights cold. Sheets empty. Gigs poured meetings in glass towers. Handshakes slick. Accolades ringing hollow. Calls with Marcus. Voices crackling distance. Laughs forced. Miss the rain, I'd say. Miss you, he'd reply, pause heavy. Months ground. Success mounting, but void yawned. Premiere party. Champagne bubbling. Flashes blinding. Jamie's arm linked. King shit. But eyes sought familiar brown. Text drunk. Home? Reply instant. Always. Return flight turbulence matched soul. Landing Seattle drizzle welcoming. Cab to building, heart thudding. Lobby empty. Elevator ascent eternal. Door to his loft ajar, light spilling. Inside he waited older, weary, arms open. Stay. This time word-wrapped love, not chains. I stepped in, door clicking home. Yeah, staying. Embrace crushed, sobs muffled in shoulder, rain pattering approval. Equals now, scars shared, future unwritten but ours. But wait, no. Climax loomed, not end. Tom's meddling peaked. Email chain leaked. Marcus's favoritism decried. Building sale whispered. Confrontation exploded dinner. Steak charring, smoke acrid. They're coming for you. Because of me. His face ashen, fork down. Fuck them. We fight. Fight. United, we rallied. Tenant meetings in lobby. Voices rising harmonious. My designs. Flyers bold. Rallying cries inked. Battle-peaked boardroom. Suits droning. Tom sneering. Marcus stood, hand in mine under table. This is family, not asset. My turn. Speech raw. Sketches projecting visions. Community hub. Not flip. Applause erupted. Tom's exit stormed. Victory tasted sweet. Beers clinking in loft. City twinkling below. We did it, he breathed, kiss ceiling. But twist. My NYC contact called, permanent offer, lead designer. Temptation siren. Night, bodies entwined. Confession slipped. Another chance. Bigger. His stillness chilled. Choose. Choice gutted. Love or ambition. Dawn broke, decision crystallizing. Us. Here. Relief flooded his face. Love fierce. But meaningful end waited growth together, not apart. The boardroom echo faded as we stumbled into the loft. Adrenaline buzzing like live wire under skin. Beers cracked open with satisfying hiss. foam spilling over fingers sticky sweet. Marcus's laugh boomed, free and full, chasing shadows from his eyes as he pulled me close, spin slow on the rug scarred by months of us. Seattle's skyline glittered beyond windows, a million lights winking conspiracy. Rain a soft patter on glass like applause dying down. To kicking ass, he toasted, clink sharp, amber liquid burning trail down throat. His free hand cupped my neck, thumb stroking jaw, grounding in the high. Couldn't without you, Alex. That speech? Fire. Heat flushed cheeks, not booze, but pride, rare bird fluttering chest. Team effort. Truth. From tenant logs to bold visions sketched feverish nights, we'd woven net strong. We collapsed on couch, legs tangled, his head on my lap, fingers combing salt pepper strands soft as seagrass. Stories spilled. Tom's bluster crumbling, suits nodding reluctant. Laughter bubbled, easing knots I'd carried since NYCTs, that offer lingering like bad aftertaste, ambition's whisper. But night deepened, buzz mellowing to ache. His hand stilled on my thigh, eyes lifting serious. About that call. The job. Stomach dropped, beer souring. Water under bridge. Is it? Voice low, probing. He sat up, facing me full, lamplight carving hollows in cheeks. I saw your face when it rang. Hungry. Hungry. Word accurate, evoking empty nights in Manhattan. Success hollow as hotel pillows. For what? Another cage, different view. His nod slow, pained. I get it. Pushed you once with the offer. Won't again. Hand squeezed knee, warm anchor. But if it's you, go. I'll wait. Wait. Echo of stay. Flipped script. Tears pricked. Unbidden, throat clogging. No more waiting. We build here. Together. Kiss sealed it. Slow burn lips parting soft. Tongues lazy dance. Hands mapping familiar terrain with renewed wonder. To bed. Shedding clothes like old doubts. Bodies joining fluid size mingling. Hips rolling wave-like. Climax quiet crest leaving us drifting. Breaths synced in afterglow. Morning coffee steamed. Aroma weaving with bacon sizzle. His kiss lingering on nape as I flipped strips crisp. Plans hatched over plates. Community events. My designs fronting revamp art walls. Coffee nook for tenants. Life pulsed vibrant. Runs turning marathons. Breaths puffing clouds. His hands swinging easy. Dinners out. Dim Italian joints. Candle flicker on faces. Wine loosening dreams. Gallery show? He suggested one night. Fork twirling linguine. Your work deserves spotlight. Spotlight. Thrill sparked, but fear nipped exposure raw, like bearing soul. Maybe. Encouragement gentle his way. Sketches pinned kitchen. Critiques kind over morning Joe. Growth bloomed. Mutual him opening to therapy. Unpacking core ghosts. Me pitching local clients, portfolio swelling. But harmony fractured subtle. Tom's shadow lingered, whispers in hall. One afternoon, envelope under door legal, eviction threat veiled as code violation. My studio targeted. Heart iced as I scanned pages, ink blurring. Marcus found me pacing, paper crumpled in fist. Bastard, he growled, reading over shoulder, arms steel around waist. Family, voice small, betrayal bitter. Worse, fear. His jaw clenched, phone snatched, dialing furious. We're countersuing. Community backing. Rally cry went out, texts pinging, tenants flooding lobby stories shared, fists pumped. My flyer, bold reds, our home, our fight. March to City Hall. Rain be damned, boots splashing unison, chants rising fog muffled. Media sniffed. Local news, mics thrust, my words steady. This building's heart, not profit. Marcus beside, hand discreet on back, strength silent. Victory small but sweet. Codes cleared, Tom retreating grumble. Celebration loft packed, laughter echoing, corks popping fizz. His toast, glass raised, to home, eyes met over rims, love wordless, deep. Yet pivot loomed. Gallery call. Slot open, show in month. Panic clawed pieces unfinished, vulnerability stark. Show me, he urged that night, studio light harsh on half-done canvases. Abstracts swirling emotion, blues for doubt, golds for us. Critique honest, raw, real, kiss forehead, perfect, prep consumed. Sleepless nights, paint under nails, his coffee runs at dawn, thumb rubs weary shoulders. Opening night, nerves electric, suit crisp, his tie straight tie, breathe, crowd milled, murmurs appreciative, red dot sales glinting. Collector approached, card exchanged, deal sealed. High crested, but crash weighted hangover emotional, success's hollow echo. Home loft quiet, him waiting arms open. Proud doesn't cover it. Tumble to bed, celebration intimate touches worshipful. Moans canvas for joy, release fireworks silent. But dawn brought call, NYC again, headhunter persistent. Lead role, now. Temptation roared, ambition lion. Marcus sensed, breakfast tense, toast crunching loud. Tell me, confession over eggs runny. They want me, full time. Silence stretched, fork pause. And, choice teetered. Safe love, or leap. Heart screamed balance. Negotiate, remote, hear bass. His grin slow dawn, relief flooding. Smart, call placed, terms hashed, hybrid, Seattle anchor. Yes tumbled, future hybrid. Life layered richer. Commutes occasional, skyline traded but heart home. Designs global, but nights local, his arms, rain lullaby. Conflict crested unexpected. Health scare, his chest twinge during run. Air bright sterile, beeps monitoring frantic. Waiting room hell, coffee vending bitter. Jamie's hand squeeze. He's tough. Hours dragged. Doctor words. Stress, pills, rest. Relief crash tears. His bed rail grip white-knuckled. Scared me. Whisper broken. Me too. Thou silent. Cherish. Recovery slow. My caretaking soup's simmering herb scent. Lapse on couch. Stories distracting. Bond deepened. Fragility gift. End neared meaningful. Anniversary our first. Loft strung lights twinkling. Dinner his cooked steak medium. Wine velvet. To stays. He toasted, eyes soft. To adventures. Amend. Clink. Love not cage, but wings together soaring. Lights twinkled like captured stars in the loft, casting a warm halo over the table set simple but deliberate. White linens crisp, candles flickering steady against the draft sneaking through old windows. Outside, Seattle's night had settled gentle. Rain a whisper now, tapping glass like fingers impatient for secrets. Marcus moved in the kitchen, sleeves rolled to elbows, veins mapping forearms like rivers I'd traced 100 times. The sizzle of steak met air, rich char mingling with rosemary from the herb bundle he'd tied himself clumsy knots, but intent pure. Medium rare, right? His voice carried over shoulder, playful, but eyes when he turned held depth. Anniversary weight. Yeah. I leaned on counter, heart full, watching him plate, juices pooling red, asparagus spears glossy. 1 year. From desperate offer to this, partnership etched in shared scars and joys. We sat, wine poured deep crimson, glasses clinking soft chime. To us, he said, gaze locking, the words stay unspoken but woven in every glance. To adventures, my ad, grin tugging, Evoking NYC trips blended my remote days in towers. Evenings back in his arms. Jet lag kissed away. Dinner unfolded slow savor. Bites tender, conversations meandering. His latest tenant tale. Laugh rumbling deep. My gallery follow-up. Second show brewing. Laughter-laced silences comfortable. Forks scraping plates echo of intimacy. Dishes later, suds bubbling sink. His hip bumping mine playful. Dance. Arm extended. Flower dusted. Floor cleared. Slow sway to phantom jazz. His hum low bass. My head tucked under chin. Heartbeat thrum against ear. Love you, murmured into hair, hand splaying back warm. Love you, echo true, no hesitation. Bodies moved fluid, steps shuffling, world shrinking to this pocket. Bed called natural, clothes shedding lazy shirt tugged overhead. Gasp at cool air on skin. Sheets cool welcome, his mouth hot trail down chest. Tongue swirling navel, drawing arch and sigh. Beautiful, breathed against thigh, eyes up dark promise. Joining slow, reverent, entry gasp shared. Rhythm building tide. Rocks gentle to urgent, skin slap wet, moans crescendo. Names chanted litany, climax mutual wave crashing. Leaving adrift in tangle, breaths evening. After, pillows propped, his fingers interlacing mine. Thumb rubbing knuckle absent. Ever think about forever? Voice casual but hitch betrayed. Forever. Word vast. Evoking rings, vows, horizons. All the time. Honesty bare. You. Nod slow, turn to face. Candle remnants guttering bedroom. Yeah. Tired of temporary. Draw breath deep. Marry me. Stun electric, heart stutter. Not question but portal. Memories flash. First touch spark. Fights forge stronger. Scares stitched closer. Yes. Whisper fierce. Kiss ceiling. Tears his rare glistening. Really? Really? Laughter bubbled. Joy fizzy as forgotten champagne. Planning sparked instant small. Beachside. Jamie officiating drag fabulous. Months whirled. Invites inked my design. Elegant swirls. Fittings awkward laugh. His tux broad. Mine slim fit. Vows pen nights. Words raw. You taught me stay means grow. Ceremony dawn alky. Waves lapping pewter. Gulls crying witness. Suits windswept. Jamie's gown rainbow riot. Rings simple bands. Gold warm sliding finger. I do. Synced. Kiss salt kissed by spray. Honeymoon cabin Olympics. Pines whispering. Fire crackling hearth. Days hike trails crunch leaf. Nights bodies explore renewed. Slow loves under stars pinprick. Sighs echoing woods. Return life amplified. Building thrived. Events buzzing art nights my curation. His grill master. Family mended slow Tom thawing over beers. Gruff nod approval. Years layered. My studio expanded. Designs global acclaim. His realty green, sustainable flips. Talks turn dreams. Adoption whispers. Future family sketch tentative. One evening, porch swing creak. Sunset bleeding orange over sound. His head my shoulder. Best offer ever. Chuckle soft, kiss temple. Simple, huh? Never simple. Perfect messy. Fade out on that two men. Hands clasped. Horizon endless. Meaningful. Love not rescue, but mirror, reflecting strengths. Holding weaknesses. Journey shared. Stay not stasis but evolution entwined. The end.